869th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com and use promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 869. Haha, nice. High five. Of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to FP&A, one of our friends in the Discord. Gamble Breland, why are we dedicated to him? I think he hit big this weekend as well.
Oh, he had a big hit. Shared with us one of his big hit tickets in the Discord, and so shout out to him for both having blind faith in us and monetizing.
It's true. There you go. That would be Dan and Gamble Breland. I would like to be the Canadian Bogatir, but I think I'm going to stick with Tony Mustard because it's funnier. Tony Mustard, Jeff Fox. We're covering the second half of PFL today, Gumby. I don't know what we're going to talk about off the top because yesterday was all,
our PFL
slander for the first 10 minutes. I know a fight I'm having with my son's girlfriend because I fight with 14-year-old girls. That's what I do. What's better, chocolate peanut butter or chocolate caramel? It's a hot debate right now between us.
Caramel.
Really?
Yeah. I also think
your team caramel, huh? Chocolate peanut butter is my jam. So interesting. What were you going to say? Sorry. Also, what?
No, I was just trying to figure out where you were going with that.
Yeah, she's team chocolate caramel. My son and I are team chocolate peanut butter. Okay, Gumby is team chocolate caramel as well. Maybe it's American thing. She's American. Maybe it's American thing. Chocolate peanut butter is not
damn Americans. Damn Americans
and their horrible taste buds. We like ketchup chips though up here. I don't like those. Have you had those before?
No, I've had all dressed up.
That's they're the best. All dressed chips are the bomb.
Yeah, those are good, and they've got some like ketchup in them.
Yeah,
right? Like a little vinegar or something. Yeah, so like I can stomach that much. Those are really good. When those came to the States, they had a little maple leaf on them, and it's a number one flavor in Canada.
There you go.
I was like, what the hell is this?
You probably don't allow them across the border now or something, but we won't get it. We won't get into that.
We get like an American version.
Yes, true. Some knockoff version. All right. PFL Africa 1, Cape Town 2025, which is PFL knows how to name their every one of their events. I want to get on a t-shirt. That is going down this coming Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So you can pre-game tailgate virtually the UFC pay-per-view. Yesterday we covered the big boys heavyweight tournament starting this weekend's card. So we covered that. We told you about Dakota Dicheva's fight because it's a squash match. So I want to say we briefly covered it, but we actually gave it more time than it probably deserved. So that was all yesterday's. Today's all about the Bantamweight tournament. Thoughts on the Bantamweight tournament before we dive into it?
Much higher in terms of skill,
than the big boys,
and in terms of just like experience. Like we're gonna see some people who have like guys on their record who you've heard of and are good. And like in the last episode, it was like Abraham Babley had some like good guys on his resume that he had lost to by split decision, and Nana had had beaten Goltsov in Combat Sambo. But other than that, like all of their records were like, who were they?
1-0, 2,
and this one
3-1.
Yeah, this one is actually filled with like some pretty damn good fighters. So I'm excited for the skill upgrade.
It's almost like Bantamweight's a better division than heavyweight. It's strange. Weird. Little guys are more skilled. All right, before we dive into the winning plays, a reminder: you can get all of our podcasts for free, not just us, but all podcasts, every episode for free on the SGPN network by going to the SGPN feed wherever you get your podcasts. So hopefully that made sense what I just said. I said a bunch of words in weird order, but SGPN feed wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe. You won't just get us, you'll get all of our amazing content on our network. We cover pretty much any sport you can think of. We have a podcast for it. All right, PFL Africa 1, Cape Town 2025 with the colon. They always have colons in their titles, which are great too. Saturday 10:30, like I said, 14 fights. We covered, I guess technically we covered half it yesterday. We covered 7 of them. We'll cover the other half today. Do you want to do a lightning round for the one women's strawweight fight? Or you want to just?
I mean, it's kind of a squash. It's kind of a squash match too. Like the Nigerian prospect that they're really high on. She's 6-0. Remind me her name.
Uka, like Utah with a K.
Yeah,
Uka.
Yeah. She's nasty, and they got her up against like a 3-2 nobody who's like not fought anybody. So like, yeah, they're trying to. it's similar to when we saw Hatana Saif in the PFL Mina. It's just like that's their gal that they're trying to hype up. Yeah. So doesn't really need a lightning round.
Zap, bang, boom, pow. The storm came early again today. All right, now we're diving into the tournament. This is the opening round of the PFL Africa Bantamweight tournament. Do you know how much they win? Do they win any money? Or are they doing this for free?
I think again it's 100K.
Okay.
Yeah. All the regional ones, I'm pretty sure, have the same pay
for now. All right, opening round. So we got 4 quarterfinal fights to break down today. Simbarashe Hokonya. He is from Zimbabwe. I'm sure I destroyed his name, but Gumby.
I just have a problem with our bumper. Okay, I got to fix it because it has the wrong name on it.
It's right fight, wrong name. Alain Majorique. That is a good name. He is from Senegal, I believe. I saw that flag. No, Cameroon, excuse me. 3 5-minute rounds at 135. And let's dive into it. Well, Gumby fixed the bumper. No odds yet as of this recording, but if they aren't already, by the time you hear this, if they aren't already dropped, they will be dropping very soon. The African assassin is Majorique, 5-0 with 2 submissions. This is his debut in PFL. Regional champ, he's fed at 145. Hokonya is the Hawk, 5-0 with one knockout. See, this is already better than heavyweight. These guys are 5-0. This is his debut. He's fed at 145 as well. And then Shannon Majorique.
Is going to be the favorite here. My guess is like the -180 range, like a +155, +160 return on Majorique. And I'm going to go underdog to kick this off. I like Alain Majorique. The difference is like these guys do kind of similar things in terms of the way they like to strike. You know, they like to try to put combinations together. They like to move forward. They like to do this. They like to do that. But the thing I like about Majorique is he's way more measured. Like you can tell he's like sizing things up and he's checking his range and he landing a 1-2 down the front, and he like adjusts his game plan based on where the person's pulling up their guard. You know, throw hooks around a tight guard. He'll throw a straight down the middle if the guard's not, you know, gets a little loose. Whereas like Hokonya just kind of like he wings it and he's just like he wants to blitz forward. And he's another one of those guys who I know we talked about it a little bit on yesterday's show, but he like blitzes forward to the point where like his legs aren't underneath him anymore. He kind of gets so far ahead of himself that he's in kind of like a dangerous spot. And I think that could get him countered, especially against the guy who's as measured as Majorique. And then on the other hand, too, like Hokonya can wrestle a little bit, but I don't think he's going to do enough of that against Majorique, especially if Majorique like uses that combination and that like measured approach to like keep range. So I'm going to go with what I imagine will be a pretty decent sized underdog here. And
all right, good way to start. That's how you started. Was it yesterday? No, a couple of days ago you started with a couple of dogs. So that's good. Good start here. I approve. We're going to another quarterfinal opening round bout for 135. That would be Antero dos Santos. He is from an African country. I can tell you that much. Angola. He is up against where is his name? Freaking Tapology, Gumby. Make me look like a fool here. Dos Santos versus Karim Henniene. I should have known this. He's from Canada, Gumby. The famed African country of Canada. Quebec, Canada. 3 5-minute rounds, 135. Henniene is the Kryptonian. I guess that would mean he's from Krypton. That's a timely name. Superman's coming back in the Vanguard, right? The Kryptonian is 4-0. No finishes. 2 inches of height over Dos Santos. Dos Santos is machine. Hopefully, he's not a machine made of Krypton, or Henniene is in trouble. 5-0 with 2 knockouts. This is his debut. 2 straight wins via TKO. 2 years younger than Henniene.
Yeah, Dos Santos is going to be like a -350, -400 favorite here. And I'm going to pick him. Henniene, way slower than Dos Santos. And Dos Santos is like fast, even for a bantamweight. And Henniene is like below average in terms of speed. Henniene has had some issues with some wrestling in the past. He definitely over-swings on his punches to the point where he is really open to counters. And with just as fast as Antero Dos Santos is, like Dos Santos is going to crack him with something on the end of that too. And you know, like I actually think Dos Santos could probably wrestle if he doesn't like what he sees on the feet. He is a guy who goes to his wrestling once in a while. The only thing I will say about his wrestling is not very technical. He's persistent, but not technical. Like he'll get in on a takedown and he's just going to like hold on to you until you eventually hit the ground. But like not cutting angles the way he should, not, you know, latching his hands the way he should, just by like pure will. I think that's still enough to get Henniene down if he wanted to. But on top of that, like I said, Henniene overswings. Dos Santos has got good counters. He's super fast. It's going to be infinitely faster in this fight. Probably a massive favorite, but hey, maybe we'll squeeze him in a parlay.
Speed kills. So, especially at 135, you definitely want to be the faster man down there. All right, before we dive into more winning plays, that was my handicapping of the fight. There you go. People like my short form handicapping. He hit hard, he fast, stuff like that. They also like it when I tell you about Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Think you know ball, then you have to enter Circa's football contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There's no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Million, you pick 5 teams against the spread each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. There's even the Circa Grandissimo, a $100,000 Survivor contest. You must register in person at a Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, which is a good excuse to go to Las Vegas, like you need an excuse. But once you sign up in Nevada, you can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. So go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And we are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. Plus, of course, they will have MMA on there. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out the PFL lines over at MyBookie. And when you do head to MyBookie.ag and sign up, use our promo code SGPN. MMA SGPN. That's the important part. MMA SGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That'll be mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. All right, let's get some more winners here, shall we? We're on to another tournament fight. Shannon van Tonder. He is from South Africa, so he's fighting at home here. Boule Godogo, good name. Democratic Republic of Congo, 3 5-minute rounds. Godogo, 3-0 with 2 knockouts. He's been, this is his debut. He's not fought though since April 2022. He's fought at 145 and 155. Van Tonder is 7-2 with 1 knockout, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out once. This is his debut in PFL as well. He's won 2 straight and 3 of 4. He's fought at 145. 2 years younger than Godogo, 2 inches taller.
So I think Van Tonder is going to be a slight favorite, probably like the negative 150 to 175 kind of range. And I'm going to pick him in this one. I'm going to be honest. When I first watched him, I was like, he's just so stiff on the feet. And I'm like, man, he is like, somebody is going to knock this dude out. And like, if he wins in the first round here, like he gets Majorique or Dos Santos or the winner of the next fight, we're going to talk, like whoever he faces will knock him out. Because he's just that stiff on his feet. But he happens to be running into a guy who looks more uncomfortable than he does on the feet. Godogo, anytime anybody pressures him with striking, he gets very flaily. It's clear he would rather be wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu. But like then the additional problem he runs into here is not only is he a worse striker than Van Tonder, but Van Tonder is so much better than him in terms of jiu-jitsu. Like Godogo, I've seen like wrestle a little bit and like get to good positions, and then like the other guy just gets up, like
Derek Lewis,
not just Derek, not just Derek Lewis style, but like the guy just stands up and he's like, it seems like he doesn't have any ideas on how to keep him down. So like that's a sign of a dude who's a good wrestler and not terribly good at jiu-jitsu. And Van Tonder is nice on the ground, like he is so sharp with his jiu-jitsu. Like it's almost the opposite. Like he actually doesn't have very much wrestling, but he's like his jiu-jitsu once he's down there is deadly. Whether he's on his back, whether he's on top, he sweeps a lot of times to come up on top. His jiu-jitsu game is insane. So, I think Godogo here is, he's so uncomfortable on the feet. He'll probably shoot and get caught on the way in. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a guillotine or triangle choke off of his back for Van Tonder. Like any of those are in play, but also like I could see Van Tonder getting into a clinch and happening to land a trip. And if he gets on top of Godogo, it's all over. So give me Shannon.
All right, you got it, Gumby. All right, the last fight, the Bantamweight tournament. I figured out the PFL website, Gumby. I figured out why. I think they're like all the.
Are they saying these are two different cards?
Yeah,
I thought about telling you that, and I was like,
well, they should. PFL. Yeah, anyhow, So they're considering the tournaments. Tapology has them listed as prelims because they're going on before the next fight card. So they have those listed as a separate card from the main card, which is all like super fights, quote unquote super fights. So there you go. Still stupid, crazy. But hey, that's PFL. All right. Nkosi Ndebele. Am I even close? Ndebele.
Ndebele.
He sounds Italian, Gumby. That is, he is from South Africa, though. Mahmoud Atef. He is from Egypt. They are fighting 3 rounds in the Bantamweight tournament. Atef is the golden boy. 5-2 with 1 no contest, 4 knockouts. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. He owes his rounds. This is his PFL debut. He's won 2 straight and 3 of 4. Past 2 wins via TKO. He's fed at 125, 3 years England. Ndebele. Ndebele is king. Ndebele 8-3 with 5 knockouts. He's been submitted once. This is his PFL debut as well. Loss, win, loss over his last 4. Regional champ in his last regional champ in his previous life, we'll say. He's fed at 145 and 159. Good weight class. 2 inches of height over Atef.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into Ndebele. I'm kind of hoping his losses get us down to like -200. Because he has, like you said, he's lost some fights recently. Now, one of them was the first of his trilogy fight against Shorty Torres. He then, won the next 2. He lost a split and then he won a unanimous and a stoppage. So like, he kind of got the better of Shorty Torres there, and like almost there is enough for me to just be like, oh yeah, pick Ndebele, because like if he can beat Shorty Torres, he's like beyond the skill level that we're seeing here in PFL Africa. And that's not to say I didn't do my research on Atef too. Like Atef is one of those guys who gets backed up a lot. And when he is back up against the cage, he likes to just like swing himself out, instead of letting his footwork do the work to get range and to find out where he is. He likes to just throw enough punches that he scares off his opponent. And like, look, it's worked sometimes, but like it also is not measured. It's not a good approach. His last knockout came after he like swung and missed so bad on the punch and then came back with a hook on the other hand. And it was just like, he was like rock'em sock'em botting him. And like, because the guy, wasn't a particularly skilled opponent, like he ate the second punch and went out. And so like Atef's got power, but like, it's pretty much just that. And when you watch Ndebele, like, look, he's good from range. He's clearly, I want to say he's got some like judo background too. Cause in that last fight might've been 2 fights ago. Like the way that he deals with people who were in on takedowns, like it almost like he's like, sweet, we're in a good position because we're touching and I can then throw you. And so like he's gotten really good at the wrestling side of things. He's longer, he's sharper on the feet. As long as he doesn't walk into something crazy by getting, overzealous with something, he should cruise in this one. So give me Ndebele.
Yeah, I don't see judo. I see he was a 2-time IMMAF champ, though, so amateur champ. That's good. That's positive. Africa champ.
That's crazy. That's crazy that.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
still,
that's good anyway.
That's funny because like he had that trilogy with Shorty, and Shorty was a 2-time world champ on the amateur scene. I think he was 21-0 as an Annie.
All right. Before we get to the main card fights that we're going to cover today, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play pick'em, as Gumby will let you know right now. You're gonna have tough picking something now, Gumby. Maybe.
No, we'll stick with the All-Star game. I'm gonna take the higher than on the total bases for Ronald Acuna Jr. I know he's banged up. Back's not been feeling good, but I got a good feeling he walks out of there with an extra base hit. So give me the higher than on the total basis.
There's a Braves fan pick for you right there. Take that. Take our code MMA SGPN and claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. Essentially the best of the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Their MLB Power Trends are 254 and 147. That's a win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in the past 400 bets. And since they launched their WNBA Power Trends, they're 35 and 20. That's a 63.64% win rate and a 20.7% ROI. So download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. We will be. Gumby's been using it for WNBAs, making them smarter.
Yeah, I've been using it for WNBA. You know, like you don't even have to be an expert in WNBA. I didn't even know they had a team in Golden State, and I'm hitting pits on it.
That's the team. That's the team I'm making money on this year because everyone is fading them, and they're actually better than they should be as an expansion team. So there you go.
Here's a hot take for me. I think they need to handicap expansion teams more than they do. I think when teams enter the league, they're actually getting it way easier than every other team. Like every other team's building stuff from scratch, and they're like, then they get to go a la carte on them. Like, nah, I think, and I think there should be more protected players. They should have to pick from like the absolute bull crap at the end of people's
Look at this
rosters.
guy. Lucky you're not commissioner.
I'm just thinking about like watching when Vegas, they added Vegas. I was like, Vegas is the Golden Knights were nasty right away, and I was like, this is
true.
dumb. Their fans should suffer.
Like the rest of well, I'm not a Leaf fan, but they're like the Leaf fans suffer exactly, just like that. All right. Back to Power Trends. You can get a 7-day free trial and check all of the good stuff out by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. All right, Gumby Vreeland. We got 2 fights left. This one is featherweight. AJ McKee Jr. from United States. Akhmed Magomedov from Russia. 3 5-minute rounds. We'll break it down by telling you about Magomedov first. 11-1 with 1 no contest, 2 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's never been finished. 1-0 in PFL. He's won 5 of 6, including his last fight via submission. Has not lost since February 2023. 1-1 in Bellator, RIP. He's fight at 155 and 170, a year younger than McKee. McKee is mercenary. 22-2, 6 knockouts, 8 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. These guys always to finish. 1-1 in PFL. He's won 4 of his last 5, but he did lose his last bout. He went 21-1 in Bellator and was the champion there, RIP. Could still be the champ for all we know. No, actually, he lost it in Bellator. He was fight at 155, 2015 Pro MMA debut. 2 inches taller than the Magomedov, 6 inches of reach on him.
This is a tough one for me in terms of guessing the odds, not in terms of picking a winner, because on a base level, I think AJ McKee should be like -600. Like he's the obvious favorite in this. But you got a guy who's named Akhmed Magomedov, and as we've talked about on the regional scene, sportsbooks tend to install guys with OV with odds that they do not deserve. And like I went back and watched Magomedov because I was like, is there a reason he's fighting AJ McKee? Do I have him mixed up with the wrong Magomedov? And no, it was the right one. It's like he's like 5'8" or something like that. He's like this little stocky guy, and his like reach is really terrible. Like my guess would be that his reach is actually less than his height. Like he's got these little like Ashmaw's arms, like those little stocky guy arms, and like I don't like the way he shoots. I don't like the way he boxes. Like he got beat up by Henry Corrales. Like his loss is Henry Corrales, and like if you watch that fight, when he tries to shoot on Corrales, like the first contact he makes on the shot is like with Corrales' like chest. Like he's way up on like the rib cage. And so like you're gonna put that guy in there with AJ McKee. Like it should be -500, -600, somewhere in that range. But like, hey, maybe Magomedov's name and the fact that he's got an almost perfect record has the books get him down in the 2s or 3s. So that's gonna be my hope, is we see an AJ McKee in the 2s or 3s, but like this should not be playable.
There you go. Main event time. Actually, we covered this yesterday, not main event time, right? This is another feature about Makkasharip, Zaynukov. Easier. Always make it harder. He's from Russia. Takeshi Izumi. He is from Japan. They're fighting at 155. 3 5-minute rounds. Izumi is 6-3 with 2 knockouts. He's never finished anyone himself. This is his debut. He's won 6 of 7, including his last bout. 0-1 is a pro grappler. Zaynukov, Artur, you can call him. 16-4, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once. Durable guy. 1-0 in PFL. He's won 5 straight. He has not lost since December 2021. He's fight at 170, 2013 pro MMA debut. 0-1 in pro grappling. An inch taller than Izumi, a year younger.
So this is going to be an interesting one in terms of the stylistic matchup. I think the odds should come in here with Zaynukov as probably like a modest favorite, like maybe in the high 1s, low 2s. And I'm going to pick Zaynukov here, but like I'm interested to see how this plays out because Izumi comes from an amateur wrestling background and has looked largely pretty dominant in his wrestling. Like if you watch a fight where he can get his wrestling going, he looks devastating. But he has lost twice to Shunta Nomura, and like in those fights, like it's just like no wrestling got going at all. You know, he'd get in on a double leg, Nomura would stuff him. They'd be stalled against the cage for a little bit. Then they'd start boxing and Nomura would piece him up. And so, like, he lost those 2 fights to Shunta Nomura. And, like, yeah, he got the wrestling going late because Nomura ran out of gas a little bit. But, like, it seems to me that he's decent at wrestling, but, like, he's going to run into just some people with halfway decent takedown defense and be out of options. For a while, I tried to convince myself that Izumi could actually wrestle here, but then I went and rewatched that second Nomura fight, and I was like, damn, if he can't get a takedown, it's really over. And Zaynukov is a pretty good wrestler. Like, if you watch his style, offensively, it's a lot of single legs. He doesn't really like the double leg all that much. He likes to get out on singles. But like it seems like he should be good enough to stuff the Izumi takedowns. And then from the boxing standpoint, as I mentioned, I already kind of feel like Izumi is out of his element when he can't get his takedowns. Zaynukov, from watching him, the thing I like best about him is that he's really hard to hit. Offensively, he's like not necessarily all that aggressive, but he is a guy who establishes range, moves his head really well. There's a lot of swing and miss in his fights with people trying to get after him. So, I think Zaynukov is going to probably style on Izumi on the feet, get him to shoot takedowns. They'll probably be stalled against the cage for a little while, but I don't think Izumi is going to score enough on those takedowns in order to pull this one off. So I'm going to go with Zaynukov.
See, he doesn't just tell you they're going to win. He tells you how they're going to win. All right, let's give you a recap, and we'll get out of here. Zaynukov, McKee, Ndebele, then Tonder, Dos Santos, and Majorique. Some fun names. All right, you're all set. If you want to talk more about PFL or anything else MMA related, we are in the Discord all the time, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Hit us up on YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast, obviously. Make sure you subscribe. Hit us up on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. At Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well. Hop in my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. You can enter my free UFC Pick'em contest for this weekend's pay-per-view there. Check out Gummy's other podcast, Top Turtle MMA. Tell the people who is on the show this week.
We got Carly Judici, who's fighting a hometown fight in New Orleans this weekend, and Robert Valentin, who will be on that card.
Check out Top Turtle MMA wherever you get your podcast. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Apparently there's a pay-per-view this weekend. We're going to cover it tomorrow. So until then,
is it a pay-per-view?
Is it? It's not. It's in the old days, this would have been like a UFC on ABC or UFC on Fox. Versus. No, maybe not versus. It would have been one of the network fights. But anyhow, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Until then, the Kryptonian, Jeff Fox, bids you farewell. Machine, Gumby Vreeland will be back tomorrow as well. Adios.